Winter. It's both peaceful and pleasurable. And there are few places that define those words better than the western Upper Peninsula of Michigan. Behind all the iconic winter imagery of this special geographical area is action. What makes this place so perfect to boondock is that Colin, Jack, and I grew up just over the western UP border in northern Wisconsin. Even though we spend most of the year riding in the western states in Canada, there's no place like home. When most folks hear the UP of Michigan, they think of Houghton. Rightly so, it's a great place with a lot to offer. In the western UP, there are so many more cool cities, towns, and communities that offer amazing amenities and extend incredible hospitality. Toss in the heroic beauty of Lake of the Clouds, Lake Ogibic, Gabbro Falls, and the Ottawa National Forest, and you've got God's country. It's all pure Michigan.
You cracked your bumper.
For 4 solid days, the three of us got to get out with our good buddy Josh Lacko from Eagle River, Wisconsin. Also joining us on our first day out was CALEB Kesterke from Sealy Lake, Montana, and Mike Ziebert from Dunbar, Wisconsin. This was Mike's second season joining us in the UP and CALEB's first. It's always great to have a Western rider appreciate what we have here in our backyard.
So today we were riding in the western UP and it was an awesome day. We had blue skies, some fresh snow, and we went out there and just had a lot of fun. Put a bunch of miles on, and everybody got broken in and had some good lines, and it was just a great day all around.
Towards the end of the day, we were just kind of finding stuff to ride, and then we ended up hopping a couple ridges and found this kind of cool bowl drainage deal that no one had ridden in all year yet. About as open as it gets for the UP, not much underbrush, so it was fun to ride there the rest of the day.
It's always awesome to get these guys back here in the Midwest and kind of our stomping grounds to ride with them. We grew up here riding ever since late middle school, early high school. Really, it's always one of the best weekends of the year riding with them.
The land is vast here, and there's a lot to take in about the terrain and its history. One really cool area we discovered was Copper Peak.
The sport of ski jumping has a long history in the area. Around 1905, they built a ski jump on the western part of town. That hill, of course, blew down, and consequently the ski jumping community went looking for another hill. And they searched all over the area, and of course they snooped around at Copper Peak, present day. Copper Peak is a unique attraction 12 months out of the year. In fact, we can't keep people away from that site. Folks just love it out there. In the winter months, we have snowmobilers coming out there in droves, and every one of them is intrigued by the uniqueness of that site. Like I say, folks just love it out there, and they have a good time. The structure is 26 stories, actually 267 feet tall. It is the tallest structure in the world of its kind. I call it America's version of the Eiffel Tower. The view from up there is second to none. Off to the northwest, we can see the Apostle Islands. Off to the northeast, Porcupine Mountains area. And on a perfectly clear day, we can see across Lake Superior some 85 miles to the vicinity of northern Minnesota, near the Canadian border. It is the finest vista in the Midwest.
One of the great things about this region in North America is that it's surrounded by the Great Lakes. We'll learn about lake effect and how groomers take on the imperfect challenges of weather to create the perfect trail riding experience. when Boondock Nation returns.
The Lake Kesterke area is really good for riding. We're kind of a hub. We have straight trails, twisty trails, lake riding. The area goes from about 300 people in the summer to thousands in the winter. It's just a way of life. Some of the coolest things about riding in the UP in our area is the Porcupine Mountains. You know, you go up to Lake of the Clouds, you can see over Lake Superior. Also the amount of snow that we get with the lake effect. We're kind of in a banana belt right here where we'll get, 20 plus inches of snow, and 15 to 20 miles away we'll only get like 6. It makes it for a really good destination for, snowmobilers and off-trail riders.
The folks like Mark who live here are diehards. They love what they do and they love doing it in the snow.
Big Powderhorn Mountain opened in 1963. It had just 2 chairlifts and 9 runs, and today it has 10 lifts and 45 runs. The terrain from every lift allows all different levels to ski together. So really at Powderhorn, people can stay together as a group, but ski the different kind of terrain that they like, and then get back together at the lift. What we like to say about Big Powderhorn is that it's a ski resort run by skiers, and we're passionate about skiing. And when I say skiers, I mean boarders as well, and we love them too. It's not just a business for us, it's a lifestyle. We're just 12 miles from Lake Superior, and there's about a 1,000-foot elevation change. So we're in a snow belt, and we're really lucky that when the lake is all set up just right, as it's been this year, that wind that comes over and picks up that warm water, relatively warm water, Lake Superior, it moves about 12 miles inland, changes elevation, and we get a lot of snow. If you've never been in the UP before, the people are just so friendly. But it's almost like a different culture. A lot of folks that come from outside the area, at first I think they're a little surprised at just how friendly people are.
We're staying at the Timbers Resort this year, and it's a really great location. Lots of trailer parking, so that part's really easy. You pull up right up to your cabin, and it's really pretty close to a lot of the areas we've been going riding, so that's been nice. It's a quick trip in the morning, and we're on the snow. So this is my second time being in the UP with Boondock Nation. It's really cool to come out here and experience this side of snowmobiling. It's just so much different than what we have out in the West, and it's a really big part of the culture out here, and it's really, really neat to see just the amount of pure snowmobilers out here. Having CALEB KESTERKE out here with us this year, it's been really cool to see a guy from the West come out here and see what they do with the terrain here.
So this isn't my first time riding with Boondock Nation. Met up with them in Revelstoke, and we actually spent a day riding and filming up there. It's a completely different culture. Out here, people use it as transportation, and it's like a way of life instead of just a hobby.
Because of the great conditions, we got in a lot of sledding, and we still have half our trip left. Back to skiing. Jack spent lots of his high school years and some of his college ones as a ski instructor up here at what is now called Big Snow.
Big Snow Resort is the combination of Blackjack and Indian Head Mountains. We merged back in 2014. We're going on the 4th year of our marriage together, if you will, and the product's really been amazing. We have 2 amazing mountains here, and between the 2, 56 runs, 15 chairlifts, and about 410 acres. We have groomers, moguls, jumps, anything, we cater to everything. Between the 2 hills, we have 2 unique niches. Blackjack's a little more the local hill. Indian Head's always been more the family resort, wide open groomers. We have kinder care, a little more of our facilities over there, like our pool and health and racket, our magic carpet. It just caters a little more to the beginner experience, where this is a little more of the advanced skier or rider experience, if you will. We just started renting snowmobiles last year. We're going in our 2nd year now of renting 6 snowmobiles. We're hoping to grow with that. It's been great. The main corridor, Trail 2, comes right through here, which is like, the main highway from east to west in the UP here. Goes right between Blackjack and Indian Head, and between that and our lodging, you really see an opportunity, for growth in that area. We're really trying to cater to the beginner and the whole wonderland experience all in all, even with the snowmobiling. So we have a little bit of sledding here, it's kind of like a playground, if you will, for the kids. little slides. We have a tubing area right around there. You know, winter wonderland, if you will.
Fresh air, family fun, lots of winter recreation makes for a long day, so some rest at the end of the day is always nice. We hung our helmets in Berglund, Michigan. Timbers Resort, owned and operated by Tim and Sarah Long, is just one of the many great lodging options in the UP. It is the perfect place to spread out and camp out when snowmobiling.
It's been awesome to host the Boondock Nation crew. The location that we have in comparison to the lake and the access that we have to the trails. They get their own cabins, their full kitchens, everything is supplied. Here at the Timbers Resort, we have a very unique relationship with our customers. We really try to make them feel at home.
The locals here know where to find the right dining spots and will happily hook you up. We'll share our favorite finds when Boondock Nation continues its journey across the western UP. When you think of the UP, you think of pasties, the perfect winter meal.
Well, this pasty shop began in 1946, and then we took it over in 1997. We're one of the first or second pasty shops ever built in the UP, but we are the pasty that made pasties famous. The miners used to come in and get pasties in the morning. They'd keep them in their pockets to help keep them warm all day, and then at lunchtime, they could just peel back the paper with their iron-ore hands and be able to eat without getting their food all messed up. A pasty is a filling of beef, potato, and onion, seasonings wrapped up in a delicate crust, and they are baked till they're golden brown. And we do make them fresh every day of the week. When they start baking, the smell starts floating around town, and that's when people start coming for them. Sometimes there's lines down the street for people waiting to get in here.
Pasties are just a part of the local food scene here. A solid breakfast is the right way to start any day of activity. A local favorite, Antonio's in Marinesco, caters to the hungry-hearted, hungry for a hearty breakfast and hungry for snowmobiling action.
I was super excited for the guys to come out back home because I've been really looking forward to this shoot and ripping up where we first started. So today was really awesome. We had bluebird skies off and on, and the snow was super good. There was actually pretty good base, and we found some really good trees.
At the end of the day, there are great hangouts for snowmobilers like us to share stories from the day and plot out our next day's ride. One cool thing about the Hoop and Holler Tavern in Merriweather is that you can sled right up to it. The camaraderie among other riders from all over North America and the full menu provides the other cool things. Huge burgers, fish fry, cheese curds, and the best Reuben sandwich around. And if it's pizza you want, Jagger's Ore House between Bessemer and Ironwood is where you'll want to pull up to a table with friends to chat and chew. Jack will tell you that it is the best pizza he's had in a long time, and we travel a lot. The Western UP is steeped in history from ore to lumber, from railroads to winter recreation. See how it all comes together with the story of Stormy Cromer when Boondock Nation returns.
Stormy Cromer, his real name was actually George, and his nickname was Stormy because he apparently had a really bad temper. In the early 1900s, he started to work for the railroad. And in 1903, George Stormy Cromer came home one day from working on the railroad, and he was annoyed that he lost yet another hat on the train. And he brought an old baseball hat to his wife, Ida, and asked her to make some modifications to it. And she created the hat with the earband and turned it into what we now call the Stormy Cromer cap. Any winter sport is a friend of ours. Our clothing and our hats are designed for people who love to be outside in the winter, and that it being 10 below, like it's been this week, is not a deterrent for people to be outside. So our hats are available really nationwide, particularly in the northern half of the country. We have, independent retailers in lots and lots of towns all over. Some of our national retailers are Cabela's, LL Bean. We were really excited to partner with Boondock Nation, especially when I found out that the guys on the show have these roots here in northern Wisconsin, and I think even have extended family here in Ironwood. So that connection of bringing Stormy Kromer and the Boondockers together seemed to make a lot of sense.
This is a show about reunions, and catching up with Gina Thorson was a great reunion. Then it was back to capture more memories in the backcountry with our last sledding experience of this trip.
I knew there were lots of trail riding, but I didn't know there was actual backcountry riding here. So it was pretty cool to experience that and ride something that I didn't even know existed.
One of the boondockers who rides every inch of snow with us is someone you rarely see, but someone who sees it all, Phil Wybar. Phil is our backcountry videographer and has traveled throughout Canada and the US with us.
Being from the mountains, it's cool to see other terrain. And out here, you still find some really, really cool ravines to play in and creek bottoms that are full with trees, thicker than stuff we have out west. But you don't have the crazy big hills or anything like that, but the snow out here is always really good. It's dang cold though, I'll tell you that. I started shooting snowmobile content in 2009, and I've been pretty much doing it ever since then.
So after meeting Phil last year for the first time in January and getting to work with him 3 or 4 shoots last year, it's always a treat to watch the best in the industry do what he does, learn more than I think any other type of traditional education could have given me.
Like I said, we ended our trip with one last ride.
It's really fun coming back home and just seeing all of our friends and locals that are reaching out to us and want to ride with us. And it's neat going back to some of the old spots that we used to ride.
It's fun coming home, seeing all the people, our friends and stuff like that, and then riding our old stomping grounds.
Yeah, today trying to do a little re-entry off this little mild hill, and everything was going good, and then it flopped back on me, and I stared God in the eyes for about 1.5 seconds, and then got hit with a solid hammer on the left arm. But a couple Tylenol will be okay. Really, it's always one of the best weekends of the year riding with them. That's a lie. Don't get your egos up. I said it for the cameras.